이란 상공회의소 보드 멤버인 그 미스터 나데르스가 이란 그 포스트 생션 이코노미라는 주제로 말씀 있겠습니다. Please come to the podium. 네, 많은 박수 부탁드리겠습니다.
안녕하십니까. My name is Nadar Ghadessi. I'm member of the board of Iranian Business Council in Dubai and also in charge of Public Relations Committee. I'm very happy to be here, seeing all these willing faces for doing trade with Iran. And special thanks to Mr. Kwon Young-suk and Lee Kwang-il, also Ms. Hayan, who is not here, I guess, today. Mr. Suk, I congratulate you for having a very dedicated and very organized team. I think this goes back to being Korean, of course. By the way, about the presentation, we have made a very short presentation in Iranian Business Council about what is the role of Iranians doing business in Dubai with regards to development of business with Iran. I would like to correct something. So many people call us Iranian companies in Dubai. There is no Iranian company in Dubai. We are all UAE companies. We are all Dubai companies. But many of these companies are owned by Koreans or French or Iranians. So what I'm talking about is about UAE established Dubai-based companies who are owned by Iranians. I don't call them Iranian companies. Fortunately, we need to change this presentation name from post-sanctions as a prediction because it's already happened. Our business council has been here for over 20 years. Now it's 23rd year that we have been established. We have been the third business council established in Dubai after India and Pakistan. We are the only Iranian private sector representative as a NGO of private sector companies of Iranian owners. And we are the only organization officially recognized by Dubai Chamber of Commerce. As you know, there are 44 by now business councils from different countries in Dubai. And Mr. Motameni, our president, just arrived. Please welcome him. Mr. Motameni has been here for over 35 years or something. And we have members that have been doing business in Dubai for 50 years. Due to the long history of our presence here in Dubai and very good and constructive relationship between United Arab Emirates and Iran, we have always been dealing and communicating with high-rank authorities of both countries. Yes, because UAE has been the main hub of re-export of goods and services to Iran, we have managed to be here and establish all this relationship and do all this networking between different people who want to do that. I would like to share a few very major numbers. These are some rough figures. We hope that the growth of the country will soon reach to 5% after the sanctions are lifted. And you know, it's a process. It's not something that you just turn on and off a push button. Also, the inflation is hoped and planned for to come below 10%. But of course, it needs very tough behavior of and control of economy. Of course, the fall of price of oil will have negative impact on these figures. This was before all this. This was for the time that the price of oil was 45 or something. Now, Iranian government is has submitted the budget based on $27 per barrel. yeah, this is what I just said. There are so many different challenges in many directions that has to be led and managed. Something that can really help is to work with companies who have and give projects to companies who can really deliver. I myself have a very good experience with a Dalim company, our own company in Iran, in oil and gas industry. We have had a very good experience with Dalim company. Also, Samsung has a very good record in our oil and gas development projects. So it's really important which partners we use. And we are not going to go after cheap or low quality partners. As I mentioned, again, as the money is less than you have predicted, you need to place much more restricted and monitoring policies and tools to control it. Some figures for you. For 72% of the population is living in the cities, 66% below age of 35. This is a very unique pattern of population. You don't find this, I don't think, anywhere else. Because, let's say, 30 years back, everybody in Iran was encouraging people to have more children. And now these people are coming to market. For the past couple of years and coming years, every year 2 million people turn 20 years of age. And this is a complete different pattern of consumption of goods, or the need they have, what they want to have. This is not a country that is, the average is over 40 or 50 or something, like many possible European countries. I don't want to go through all this. You will have the details in written. You will have it. The most important thing possibly here would be the, pointer. Yeah, the private consumption is 50%. So this is a very big population and very hungry for almost all sorts of goods. And Korea has been a big manufacturer of many things still, and all during the hard times we have been through, even in embargoes and sanctions, Iranian people have been very accustomed with Korean brands and Korean cars, and we have a very ready and I would say people know already a lot about Korean brands. So there's a good reputation. That's the word I was looking for. There's a good reputation and liability about the Korean brands already accepted in mentality of Iranian consumers. In business ranking, Iran is now number almost 120 among 190. There's a lot. There's a huge potential. One thing I would like to say is that people many times they rely on resources of countries in terms of oil, gas, or mines. A huge resource in Iran is the young population, educated people, young, ready to go to work. I have been traveling to Iraq. I have been traveling to other countries in the region for our own business development. In Iraq, there is lots of money. There was lots of money ready for projects, but they don't have people to do the work for them. What is really available in Iran, if anyone goes in and takes in the proper investment and a good plan, you don't really need to worry about the human resource. Everything is available. Just with a touch of good management and good monitoring, projects will be flourishing very soon. I would like to draw your attention to this part. Income category, upper middle income population, 77. And GNI per capita is $6,000. This can easily grow and increase in very short time. Now, this might be of a little bit of more interest to you. Comparing Iran with normal standards, international standards, you see that starting a business in Iran is very close to best places in the world. But for example, when you go to resolving insolvency, This is where we really have problems. Again, the diagram will be given to you, passed to you. This is somehow, this will give you a good idea about what would be the main obstacles anyone going into Iran would face. I would like to draw your attention to these parts: construction, getting electricity, registering property, and getting credit. This goes back in negative side a little bit. This would also give you a very good idea. Construction permits are very easily given in Iran, and we need a lot of projects as infrastructure projects. Resolving insolvency, I already addressed. Now, what I would like to say is that we are speaking as Iranian Business Council members. So what we really would like to say from this part on is what would be the added value that Iranian business people, Iranian owners and companies owned by Iranians, what role exactly can we play in the development of business with Iran? What really is needed in Iran is now foreign capital, foreign investment. All the analysis everybody in economy has made is that we cannot afford to pay for all the projects we want to do with our own cash, with our own resources, financial resources. And all the plans will only succeed if they say, I just heard this yesterday, that they say that for the whole plan of coming 5 to 10 years, there is a need for $1,000 billion. The calculations show that up to 700 of these can be earned from income of and production of Iran economy itself. But about 300 billion is still needed to make all these plans happen. What is really needed now, again, for developments is for services. We need equipment, raw material, and consumer goods. There are problems for anyone who wants to go to Iran due to sanctions and I would say a relatively negative exposure of Iran being presented to the whole world by media, which has been very unfair. Any of you who has traveled to Iran once, you know there is a huge gap between understanding you have from Iran before going to Iran and after you just tried 1 or 2 days. Many companies, they have no idea how to start. What is the registration procedure? And I think my colleague from Al-Tamimi Group addressed a few of them. There is a huge list of unknowns how to do things. So this is one key obstacle. All those details, tax, labor, insurance, disputes, and banking issues, because the banking sector in Iran is suffering from lacking of so many products. For example, products that have been developed in past 5 to 10 years worldwide, like payment instruments and everything. Right now, they do not that much exist to the best level of industry to serve businesses. Transportation infrastructure is still a big problem. And cultural concepts, you know better. All Asian countries, all Asian cultures know how it's difficult to match to another culture. So there are lots of things that have to be learned. Fortunately, Koreans suffer from this problem less, as I mentioned, because of the history of your presence in Iran. Role of Dubai. Dubai has been always a big business partner to Iran as a country. Dubai Business Council has a network of people who have been dealing with Iran economy despite all problems, and we and other countries, other companies in Dubai have found solutions how to deal with things according to the law, but despite all the hardship and the difficult procedures. So there are so many answers already ready in minds and experiences of all these companies of members of Iranian Business Council. we know people. For anyone who doesn't know who to contact, whom to liaison with, which officials to go to, who's the real distributor of this good, who's the real doer in that area, we know lots of things. So if you find a proper member of IBC, and if you just you have lots of things to learn of real business done already. There is a very good advantage. Anyone who has been living and doing business in Dubai knows there are so many things available in Dubai that facilitates doing business with Iran. Financial workflow, transport and shipping, and lifestyle of Dubai. For many companies, it is estimated that due to the uncertainty of so many factors in future of Iran, they won't be immediately shifting everything to Iran. So many companies may prefer to have a main office or a higher management outside Iran, maybe for tax, for so many other worries that may have, but take a part of the business inside Iran. And I think that obviously everyone knows that Dubai is a very good candidate for that. We have been dealing with business in Dubai since 1925. You know that companies in Dubai, if it's not in free zone, we have to have local partners. Iranians are known to have most reliable, well-known big families as their own local partners. And as I mentioned, the expertise of solutions we have come to, and the networking that we can offer. Kamsa Hamnida.